I need to hurry up and make this video because daylight is going. Um, Hi everyone, my name is Nana. Nana like the African savannah, Nana like Hannah Montana, but my name is Nana, not Nana, just to clear that up. So, I'm not really sure how exactly I want to go about this. Like, I have a topic in mind, but I feel like I am going to maybe change the title in the end. I'm not too sure. But today I want to talk about the Auntification of Annie from Sinners, and big black women as a whole. Sort of an introspective for myself as I am to a big black woman, my fluffy gal. And I want to get into those intersections and just the intersection of being a big black woman and the people them think, you're someone's mommy or mommy, you're someone's mommy or something. I was gonna say something, but I don't remember now. Hmm. Let's also just remember I have a top on. This might slide as the video continues, but I have a top. It's hot. So tube top is all you're getting from me. Um, and I'm looking at my notes. If you see me look down, I'm looking down at my notes. So first of all, it's gonna be like kind of a run through of Sinners. I know most people have seen Sinners. One of my friends said she not see it because the movie kind of scary, which is understandable. So just a very quick synopsis or summary because we're mostly focused on Annie's part. So, in the movie Sinners, it's starring Michael B. Jordan and Wunmi Mosaku, her fine self. We follow two twin brothers, Smoke and Stack, re-entering the rural South. They've just come back from up. I think was it Chicago? It was somewhere up north where we're supposed to be treated better as a people. They have come into some funds. We don't know how in the beginning, but we soon find out. I'm gonna skip over a whole bunch at the beginning of the center movie because that's not who we're talking about. Let's not lose the plot, okay? Because that's easy for me to lose the plot. The beginning of Sinners opens. We meet Sammy and his daddy at the church. They're not really important to the story, so we're not gonna focus on Sammy. And we meet the twin brothers Smoke and Stack. Smoke is supposed to be someone of the calmer one. He's more chill, and Stack is about that action. And they are coming from up north where it's supposed to be better for people like us, people of a darker, richer hue. And one has clearly worked for the Italians, and the other one has clearly worked for the Irish. So they got all these spirits, catch that spirits, liquor, alcohol, you know what I'm saying, uh, back with them, and they want to open up a juke joint, baby. But behind a strong man, what will you usually find? A stronger woman. Hello. So we see that Smoke has Annie and Stack has Mary. Pretty sure her name is Mary, played by Haley Steinfeld. And these women look very different from each other. Not only racially, or like I should say, yeah, racially, but like body wise as well. Haley is someone with majority white heritage, but she does have some black in her. I think like she's an eighth black. They call her a certain word, which I'm not gonna say here. And Annie appears to be a fully. She seems like she's the product of two black parents, two dark skinned black parents today. And Miss Annie, baby, she big body bends. She is what them say in the Caribbean, fluffy gal for true. She's not maga, and she is just very much supposed to be coming off as the older woman when we see her, the way she's portrayed. The way we are first introduced to Annie, right, is Smoke is like, I gotta go see somebody. His brother Stack. He's like, okay, cool, cool. Do what you gotta do, bruh. And we see Smoke driving. He's driving somewhere. He head somewhere. He head over to Annie's house. Now, the first time I saw Sinners, I was with my friend. We didn't know what we were going into, girl. When I first saw Sinners being advertised, I thought it was gonna be a Western about Michael B. Jordan like being like a vampire hunter or like being like a criminal out west. I don't know why I thought that, but the trailer did not give what I saw in theaters, which I much appreciated, right? We're there watching it and we're soon like realizing, okay, like what's going on? Because nothing crazy has happened yet. It's the beginning of the movie. And we see him pull up to we see him to pull up to a house first, right? And um he sees a grave site, right? This little grave we find out later on that's meant for his baby daughter that had passed away. And Annie walks out. And when we see Annie, when we see Annie, we see dark skin, 4C hair, just African features radiating off of her. And some other things to note about her is the way she's dressed. She's almost fully covered. It looks like she is maybe, I forget how you would call it in the South, but like she might put the roots on you. I know that in the Caribbean we say like obia, but obia is usually um, connected with black magic or just like bad ways. But that's a whole other type of thing with demonization of African spirituality in the Caribbean brought on by Christianity that we don't have time to get into in this video. But she's kind of like coming as like the Obia lady, the hoodoo woman. She can help. She got the herbs for you. She got the juju. She got the juju bag. She got whatever you need. She's a provider. Okay. She said like this is what her mama used to do. This is what she gonna do. Period. Protect our people, right? Which is something that's followed us since Africa, since we left Africa involuntarily. Also, by the way, hold on, because by the time this video come out, it might already have passed, but y'all can't really tell. But happy Juneteenth, everybody! Happy Juneteenth. I'm super excited for the Juneteenth celebrations here. I literally can't wait. I can't wait to dance. I know there are things being planned because my city does have a lot of Black American ancestry, a lot of Black American heritage. You know what I'm saying? My people really did build the city, like, which is true for most of the well, shit, America actually it's true for most of America, but you know what I'm saying. I'm just super excited to have Juneteenth here. I was looking, I got this from the beauty play store because I was like, okay, I love Africa. I really do. And I want to show that. And I saw like some Africa shape. The beauty supply store be having everything you want. Um, I saw some Africa shape earrings. I saw some, shape earrings. And I was like, oh, these are nice. These are clean. But then I thought about we lived in the big 2026. I was like, let's not wear that right now. Because back in 2020, 2016, that thing was cool. You couldn't want to tell me nothing. How about that shiki on? You can't tell me nothing. All right. Um, Proud to be black, unapologetically. But these days, with what's going on politically, baby, racially, let me not wear nothing for no one to say nothing or do nothing crazy to me. Because I can't do it. All right. I can. People are too nowadays. You can't even celebrate your ancestry or the accomplishments of your people or the fact that your people is free. Hello, because that's what Juneteenth's all about, freedom, and that pissed some people off. Yeah. But once again, that's another video for another day. I was like, okay, well, what's calm? What's calm? But let you know, like, hello, I'm black. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and get these little what do you call them? These little like comb earrings. This will be cute. So I'm rocking these all Juneteenth. And then, the Caribbean Independence happening in August. I'm super excited for that as well. But yeah, I'm so excited for the entire diaspora to be celebrated. Hello, we are free. Well, as free as we are, we more free than we were back then. So let me say it like that. You know what I'm saying? We more free. So yeah, back to what I was saying. We meet up with Annie and Smoke, and we're not exactly sure what their relationship is. We kind of thinking like, oh, is that his mama? But she don't look that old. He not really moving like that's someone that he be intimate with, at least to me and my friend, because we were like, who is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was very clear that like Miss Mary Mack did not fuck with Stack. That was abundantly clear. She right right at the train station. She not play. Um, but we weren't really sure who Annie was. And I think that says something too, where me and my friend actually thought that Annie was Smoke's auntie. His auntie, his mama, maybe their mama. I was like, wait, what the hell only one of their twin because of the name mommy? That's weird. That's weird to me. Or like some like elder, or like just simply just like the old bad lady. And he come to get something from her. The juju bag. As they're talking more, as they're talking more, we're saying, oh, This the baby, not even sorry. This not baby mama. This is personally what I think this was Loki his wife. Like I know, and I said Loki because obviously like marriage looked different for enslaved people, freed people, in the South. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not gonna see no 14-karat wedding band on Annie. She's not gonna be like my husband, my husband, my husband. It's gonna look differently, right? Even if they were even allowed to get wed, right? Um, but this is definitely someone that he likes he loves romantically, right? And she loves him. And the way it's portrayed, it to me it says a lot. So because it's been a minute since I've seen the movie, I just had to do a refresher and I watched the clip again of Smoke entering Annie's house, of her selling like kind of like little roots to the girls. And after they leave, we see Smoke take her money, or I don't even know what to call them. I'm low-key gonna call them plantation bucks because that seems like what they are throughout the movie, that the other people keep on like using as currency. Um, so yeah, the plantation bucks little girls give her, and he's like, "That's not gonna spend nowhere else. I got some real money for you though. You want it?" I'm like, "Okay." Me personally, I was like 20, but that's why I'm not Annie in the movie. That's why it's Wunmi. He's like, "Here." She's like, "When I want that money, it's steeped in blood." Very fucking true, Annie girl. That's real. That's definitely some blood money. Yeah, girl. I would not, cause what you been doing up north? Now you back here with all this liquor. Something's not right. How a black man got all this money? How a black man got in these times? How a black man got all this money? All this liquor. Opening up a juke joint. What money? When you leave here, you have nothing. Now you come back, you have everything. What's going on? I don't want your money. You know what? Actually, I think about yeah. I'm just like any. I would have said no to shit. No one gonna come find me trying to. Where this my money and no sir. Once again, we're like, what's this relationship? What's going on here? Is this his mommy? Why is he talking to his mommy so? And he starts talking about, I've been everywhere. I've been on trains. I've been on cars. I've been in ships. But me not see no magic. Me not see no zombie. No demon, no nothing. Me not see it. The only thing I'm really seeing is power. I ain't seen no roots. And okay, so it's like, okay, cool. So she is the root lady. We not I'm not in my head, I'm like, I'm not tripping. She the root lady, period. We need more root ladies, to be honest. Good, positive ones, obviously. We need more positive root ladies that are of the culture. Let me make that clear. That are of the culture. Thank you. He's like, I've seen all of these things, but I ain't never seen no magic work. The money that you just rejected from me, that's how you get power. And he's talking about he done seen men die in ways you couldn't even imagine. We can imagine it. May they rest in peace. All this war I seen, the roots ain't help none. She looked at him and she said, "You stupid." Nah, she said, "You fool, but you're not the same thing." She looked at him and she said, "All that war and everything else. And here you stand. You done seen all these men die in ways you can't even imagine. But here you are with two arms, two legs, a brain still working. I don't know how good it's working because look what he up to. But two eyes, and you right here in front of me. And now we over here like, right, right, right. Because you know what I'm saying? Like you said, everyone else done die. But here you are to tell the tale. But it's not clicking because it never clicks for them. The men never think like, oh, okay, well maybe I had a praying grandmother. As they say in the South, like someone to like stand in the middle, stand in the gap. You know what I'm saying? Them never think so. Them just think them invisible, invincible, and they think we is invisible. She come closer and she say, "How you know I ain't work every route my grandmama taught me?" So I think I said her mama earlier. My bad. It was her grandmama, but mama probably got down too because this stuff is ancestral. And she said, "How you know I ain't work every route my grandmama taught me? Prayed every day for you and your brother. Let me be nice. Your brother, for you to come back home safely to me." Insert that meme. But no, she for real. She for real though. She for real. And he says, "How come that root didn't work on our baby?" My God, when I tell you, I said, "Oh, the entire theater say, our baby." Nuestra? Like nuestra? Like what's going on? Like you and I, you and me? No I and I? He's like, how come the root not work on our baby? Oh, this your gal. This your woman. Okay, okay. And now things have changed. Now we can understand what we were seeing this entire time, baby. This was tension. And I just want to clarify too. I'm not really sure like how long after he left after the baby had passed away, but I'm like, I wish they would have talked about that more because I was like, did he just up and leave? Because was it just too painful? What did he tell Annie exactly before he left? Because we know what Stack told Mary. Not a damn thing. He ate his dinner and he fucking left. We are seeing all of this happen, and now we're like, okay, cool. So this girl, they go together. That's they baby. Cause I look, he was too like, oh, like he got the baby buried at the mama house. Like I don't really know what they do back then, but okay. But no, this is his house, damn near. This day house. She's like, I don't know. But to me, like that was such a thing of like, black people go through so much in this life. Like we go through so much, and this is not obviously a only black thing, right? But it's like the way we pray, the way we love, the way we come into communion, and then the trials and trip. Like God already said that we would have. He already promised that we would have some bad days, but then you have those bad days, and it's like, yeah, how come the roots ain't working on our baby? And I feel like that is a whole other thing with the black community, but it's like how much we really do believe in the power of prayer because prayer doesn't work in my opinion. Um, prayer and just being faithful, and then bad things will still happen. It's like, so why ain't it working on our baby? Why you got all this stuff? You saying this is the reason I'm here, but our baby's dead in the ground. So that was sad. And already like we low key, I'm like we like low key seeing like that, like man, there's like death actually. There's like some death happening here. Like Mary mama dead, their baby dead. Like oh my goodness, like death. Like what is going on? Like my God. Granted, Mary mama died because I'm assuming of old age. Their baby, we're not really told exactly what happened, why as to why their baby has passed away. But it's seeming like both brothers, women have lost very significant part of their lives, and you can see that the women that we're seeing now have been changed because of it, or we can assume that. And we see Annie put her hand on Smoke's chest. And I'm like, oh, things about to get active. But she says to him, she's like, you still got that mojo bag? Because remember, he was talking all this shit about money and magic and power and tricks. And we see him start to unbutton his shirt. I grow closer to the screen because I'm like, what's about to go on? And sure enough, he talk all that shit. He still got that motherfucking mojo bag on his around him, don't he? And I think I was calling it a juju bag earlier. My bad, y'all. It all meshes together in my brain. But he doesn't still in fact have that muju bag. Muju. He still in fact has that mojo bag on him. She takes the juju bag, does her blessings, and she says, why you here, Smoke? Oh, well, I was wondering if you could cook at the juju joint tonight. What you want, Smoke? Cause for real, like I know you did not come talk to you could have find anybody. You come to me and our baby to say this BS. What do you what you want? And he's like, you really want me to say it? This is me at the screen. Yes! Say it! Clear it up for me. It still hurts coming back here, but I love you and I miss you. Was that so damn hard? You had the train ride, the plane ride, the boat ride from Chicago to wherever we are in the South. Because I don't remember, child. And still, when you first see her, you talk about something, oh, I just want to cook. I'm happy you said it because I was like, for me, I would have been like, yeah, brother, you gotta go. Like, I know you, like, don't play in my face. Like, this is not Aunt Jemima. Mickey, I made nothing for you. And that's when she walks over to him. It was giving maternal. I'm not even gonna hold you, But this is a thing with black women that we do. We are sometimes our man's mommy. Unfortunately, and that is what was depicted here. And she caresses him and he lays his head on her chest. And I'm like, oh gosh, what's going on here? What's going on? And then she started kissing his neck, and I said, I'm clutching my pearls. Me and my friend, we look at each other in the theater like, oh shit, bitch, about to go damn. And she kisses his neck. She says in her language, I really forget which one it was, but she says, "Ooh, sorry." Well, she starts caressing him, girl, in places we can't really fully see, and she talk about some your body and forget me. I'm gonna have to use that word. I was like, period. I remember when that happened, baby, and them subtitles came on the screen. My mom, the whole theater was aghast. We said, "Oh, this ain't mommy. This ain't mommy Annie. This ain't Hoodoo Lady Annie. This is big bad gal Annie Shabuti Tikshiman." She's over here kissing him. He's kissing her back. We're seeing the yearning. Oh my god. Black love. This is gonna be beautiful. I can't wait to see this. I'm so excited because at first I thought this was his auntie, and now we're seeing that this big, beautiful, voluptuous woman, dark skinned woman, unapologetically and unambiguously black woman is his wife. And the love scene starts. They kiss, and he proceeds to hit her from the back. What the fuck? I'm saying that because when you compare later on, we're not gonna get into this because we done talked about this too long already. When you compare to, granted, she was a vampire, but when you compare Mary and Stack's scene to what they was nasty, but like once again, she was underneath the spell. Um, I'm thinking about it too. Yeah, she was nasty, child. But you see their scene depicted versus Annie and Smoke. First of all, it was too short. Their scene was too short. Hey, I don't care. And second of all, from the back, the mother of your child. That's how you want to greet her after what's presumed to be years. Something about it gave struggle love. Like I just hate that for us. Like it's always like the love scenes, like the way they are depicted is just very much it's giving here damn. Clearly there was passion there, but I was just like, y'all couldn't look each other in the eyes. Why'd you turn her? Because she didn't turn herself around. He turned her around, child. But yeah, that was the scene. It's very clear when we first see Mary pop up on our screen that her and Stack got something going on. Or one of the twins, because she say, is it Stack or is it Smoke? Right? When she approaches them at the train station talking to Sammy, the way she speaks is very vulgar. And listen, I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? I love when women talk that way. Me personally, I like it. Because like, yeah, let's be direct. Because this is what you were saying to me, so why can't I say it back? Who listening? So it's very clear from the jump. She said, well, you stuck your tongue up my cutie, my meow meow. Thought you were gonna stay. You know? Buried her mama. Where was y'all at? Nowhere to be found. You were my lover. You were my man. And I thought we was gonna be together forever. And then you up and left. And now he ride my let me back up, y'all. Why I feel like I'm like entering like my Mary mindset. Hold on. Let me back up. You see it, and it's very clear, like, oh, she's not playing. And Stack went all up and through that. She made that very clear. Of course, once again, we have to look at where we are at in history. She is the only visibly white person interacting with the other black people in this way in the train station. Everyone else is darker skin, brown skin. It's almost like they're on the black side of the tracks. Not really, like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very much a black populated area. And we are still in a time of sharecropping where you're not really supposed to be seen with a white woman if you're a black man. And we have so many real life events where people told lies about black men, about young black boys, like Emmett Till, may he rest in peace. I'm so angry about that shit to this day. Like I wasn't even there, but like I remember hearing about it, and then she came out later because we all like remember in history class being told like, oh, like we think like she probably lied, she probably lied, and then that old woman came out because she didn't want to burn in hell and talk about some. Yeah, I lied on him. You know you're going to hell still, right? The devil will greet you. You're not going to heaven. What they did to that boy. You're not going to heaven, and because of events like that, we know we as the audience in real life, we know that this could actually be life or death being seen talking to a white woman. So he can't really be giving all of that. He's trying to give cold shoulder. He's trying not to hurt her. And we find out later on, he loved her the whole time, which was clear because she clearly struck a nerve. He gave her attention, which means she took up space in his mind. She was like, go to hell. He said, girl, I will, and I'll save you a room. They're so cute. But anyways, it's very clear from that situation, them two go together. Or at least them two did go together, whichever, right? And this is a stark difference from how we see Annie and Smoke in the beginning scene. You over here wondering who is it? Okay, so if you can't tell, I feel like you can do from what you can see. Look at my arms. I'm not skinny. I'm not skinny. I'm not slim as. I'm not MAGA. I'm not none of that. I am, and I feel like I need to clarify what MAGA means because I don't want no one thinking I'm talking about the red hats. MAGA means, let me make sure I'm clear because anybody about to do, yeah, MAGA, MAGGA, means not MAGA. MAGA means someone who is very thin, very, very thin, very skinny. They're small, right? Not necessarily a bad thing. Caribbean people are just very descriptive. They are gonna call you how they see you. All right. So if you're big, them gonna call you big. If you're skinny, them gonna call you skinny. Before them even know your name, them gonna call you what they see. You're dark, them have a name. You're light, brown in. I'm not considered brown in. I just black. Anyways, I'm not MAGA. I'm fluffy. I'm fluffy. I would say besides the height, because I am short. We can't have everything. I am similar to Wunmi, Annie, or Annie's body type. I have a big chest, I have a big body, and my belly big too. Everything big pan me. But I have like a shape to me. As someone who can see myself in Annie's character, I still saw her when she first got on the screen as a mommy and as an auntie, not only because of her big body fullness, but also because of the fact that she was a darker skinned woman. Let's be all the way clear. Michael B. Jordan was the actor playing Smoke. We haven't really seen him with any dark skinned women in his acting career or even really in his love life, which is his business. You do what you gotta do. We all like what we like. And it was just like, okay, like there's no way like this your girl because look at the way y'all talking. And then they did what needed to be done. We found out that was their baby. We're like, oh wait, no, y'all two go together. All right, what's going on here? And I think what I had to like sit with afterwards, especially when like all of the other like video essays came out, all the other analysis came out, was why did I think that Annie was this man's mama? And what I kind of came up with is that like it really does come to like socialization and how you are treated as a big black woman, both in romantic and platonic relationships, where you are going to be seen always in a more motherly role. Especially having a bigger chest and a bigger everything. Like people kind of look at you as if you've already given birth. Even if you are too young, you look too young to have given birth, they will still say, they will still treat you in that role. And you also put yourself in that role because that's what you see growing up. That's how people treat you. You as the big black woman, and this is actually common with many black women, and it comes from even within our own community. You will see where you were always a Ilanya, fix my life. You were always a Oprah, let me tell you all my problems. Let me put this on you, all right? And I saw that physical manifestation when he rested his head on her chest. I was still thinking this was like some type of auntie mommy, even though he was like, that's our baby buried out front. And, you know, it's really interesting because I'm over here just like, I've been there before. You know what I'm saying? And I, well, shit, I was gonna say not physically, but yeah, I've been there before, where someone will find comfort in you and they choose that physical comfort of putting their head on your chest or putting their head on your shoulder and venting to you about something that's going wrong in their life. Like you're their mommy and y'all are the same age. Y'all are age mates or you are younger than that person. And it's like having to be there and carry that emotional burden, right, as a black woman. And now, specifically, more onto being a big black woman, fat black woman, whatever you want to call it, fluffy minacure, really, is kind of just assuming that is your role and that is the only way that you can be of service. I think it was just so refreshing too to see something different, where we all are assuming that this, no, she didn't say this, mind you, but we're all assuming that this is his auntie or his mom, or just we're all assuming that this is, there's no way this could be the romantic partner. So what else could she be in the story? And within those, like, what, the scene was like, what, maybe 10 minutes, we are told that not only do they have a romantic relationship, but they also had a child together, and that he's expressing himself where he's saying, well, I miss you. It still hurts me coming back here to see you, to see our baby. Um, but I love you and I miss you. And just seeing him melt into Annie, but then also having to kind of later on compare the scenes and ultimately Annie's sacrifice to the relationship that Mary had with Stack, right? And spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but I think we all have, or if you're watching this video, you probably have. Annie ends up sacrifice, not really sacrificing herself, but she tells them what needs to be done. From first of all, whole movie, Annie is a G. Like Annie is telling them, like, y'all, this is a haint. When she thinks it's not a haint, or when she sees it's not a haint, she's like, oh, these are vampires. Like, oh, we got to move differently, y'all. That friend ain't your friend. Your husband ain't your husband no more, girl. Don't go outside. And we all know how that listens. She don't fucking listen. I understand her daughter was out there, but girl, now your daughter ain't got no mama and no daddy. Because y'all both burned to a crisp. But Annie says, like, hey, like, listen, if they get me, I do not want to turn into a vampire. I need you to stab me in my chest. Pronto. Please. And even though we can tell it's hard for him, Smoke does what does what she asks. And only in the afterlife are they able to be together with their daughter. It takes literal death, which I feel is so, how do I put this? It's obviously metaphorical, but it's often like we as black, how do I put this? We as black people, I guess more so black Americans, black Southern Americans, right? Um, we really do believe in heaven and, oh, I guess yeah, black Caribbean people too, but we really do believe in heaven and being together afterwards, and that black people have such a different look on Christianity or religion than I think a lot of other people do, mainly because we are told that's when we'll be free. Like what we'll finally be free. We won't have to worry about getting persecuted for our skin color or being literally enslaved for our skin color and having all these trials and tribulations happen to us due to racism. And we see that for them, that is when they can truly be free in death. That's when they're reunited with their daughter. And it's kind of implied that maybe that's why the roots didn't work on their daughter, is because the ancestors knew what was to come. right? And yeah, that's we can go deeper, but that's kind of what's implied, you know? And it just says a lot that like that's kind of how that scene ended, or like how their love story ended. In death they were reunited, and then once again with Mary and Stax, they were able to have to wait it out because as we know, Loving versus Virginia had not happened yet, which if you don't know what that is the actual real life case of the Loving couple. Like their last name was Loving, which I think is so cute and fitting, versus the state of Virginia, which is why we are allowed to have interracial marriage now. Because back in the day, and even here, more on like a social level, not really political, well, not really legally, it was and can still appear to be illegal to be in an interracial relationship. Um, but back then it was actually bad. Like the black man could get killed for that, and the white woman, well, I don't really know like what would happen to her, but it wouldn't be good. Probably just social death, or as the man would have literal death. But hey, we're moving on. We're moving on, and you just see the the differences in their relationship, right? Mary and Stack are still able to have this, even though they had to wait it out. I'm not going to take that away from them, but they were able to live um, a open life, a romantic life. Like even at the end of the movie, we see we still together, you know. Um, they're still together, and they're able to be open and free with their love and live. Maybe they are happy, Smoke and Annie, but girl, they're also dead. So, well, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they're dead. That's their love story. And another point I want to say is I don't know if I don't think it was intentional. I think it generally was subconscious. And I say that because I too, as a viewer watching the scene, kind of have the same viewpoint where you see the way that like the love scene between Annie appears versus Mary and Smoke. Granted, like I said before, Mary's a vampire. So we gotta take this with a little grain of salt, but we also remember that regardless, vampire or not, she is arguably the most vulgar character in that show. And Stack is simply just matching, or that movie, and Stack is simply just matching her energy. Because, girl, she a freak. Come on, be real about your love. Be out and open. He ain't hit her from the back with Mary. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looked at her, he was all up in it. He couldn't wait. It's implied that Smoke been away from Annie as long as Stack has been away from Mary. So why is they're like granted they have a different type of relationship, but like why is it the way they show love is very differently. It's displayed very differently on our screen. And I think the reason for that is because once again, Annie is a big, voluptuous black woman, and Mary is a skinny, conventionally attractive, white passing woman, right? In the film. I think it does go deeper. Like I don't think I have the exact vocabulary to explain it at this point in time, but I think it says a lot to how their two love scenes are portrayed and why they are portrayed that way, right? And I think it has to do with the physical features of Annie's character and Mary's character, right? So moving on, go deeper, right, on like the auntification of big black women. So now we're moving away from Annie's character, right? I want to talk a bit about my kind of experience feeling like I have experienced the auntification of being a big black woman. Like once again, I don't know if you can tell, but I don't think I look like I'm not gonna ask for your opinion. I know I don't look that old, right? Like let me zoom in. I know one's mommy, right? I too young. I too young. But I have no children. I'm talking more on like an introspective level. I remember when I was in Jamaica last year, right? I was in Jamaica. and I was working, and I was not that well versed in patois. I'm still obviously not that well versed in patois. You know, my patois, and I was learning at that point like the different terms for people's bodies and just how specific and unafraid Jamaicans were to name you, nickname you based on your body or call you by your body name. Them not ask, oh, what's your name? Them gonna call them how you. Them gonna call you how them see you. So I remember I was walking down. Maybe this was low key my bad. This might have been my fault. Yeah, I was with my mumu. I remember we was going down. We were in like New Kingston, and I was headed to the store with two other girls. I had on my mumu because I'm like, we're just gonna do a quick little run. There was this man on the street. You know, there's always that madman anywhere you go, no matter the country, and he was just talking about bah, 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 you know, just in the street, have nothing to do. And him see me and him say him ball out, hey yo fluffy, hey yo fluffy, fluffy girl. And I said, who the fuck? Would I tell you I put some pep in my motherfucking step? I said, oh no, you sound hungry. And I was like, that was the first time I had ever been like called fluffy fluffy. Um just out in public like that by some woman I know. You know, like, hey yo fluffy, fluffy. And I was like, boy. I already know Jamaican men like they like women with they actually I'm not saying that I go say Jamaican men like women with body. Them like women that are women. It don't really matter. Big, small, skinny, fat, big, dark skin, brown skin, light skin, long hair, short hair. If you're a woman, they gonna say something to you. But I remember when he ball out, he balled that out to me, and I was just like, "You right?" You know, because I'm like, "What the hell is going on here?" Because I was with my two other friends, and they were like, "Girl, well, we told you not to wear that moo girl," or we told they were like, you know, we told you not to put that on, child. But I was like, I'm just going to the store. I can just put on this movement and go about my business. And like I said, I have a big body, and the moo, you know, moo make you look bigger. In general, it's very comfortable, very loose, very fitting. And I remember how it made me feel. I was like, oh, I feel seen, but like I feel seen in a way where it's like, yeah, man, you fluffy. When you walking down the street, you fluffy, and that's the nice word, obviously. Well, at least I take it as a nice thing. I don't take it as no bad, like the person is bad mind. I don't take it like that. I just take it as like, okay, like you call me how you see me, fluffy. I fluffy. I not skinny, so you're not gonna call me slimmers. Cool. So that was something where like I did kind of think about it. I was like, yo, like what, like the hell? Because you know you get catcalled, but like Jamaican men do it. Jamaican men have a way where it's like it might stick with you for a second. And he was doing. I don't know if he was necessarily catcalling me, but he just wanted to call me fluffy, so he called me fluffy, and that was that. And I remember how it made me feel it on. I was like, oh, like thinking about how like you know growing up in America and everything. Um, that I probably would have rather be called fluffy than all of the other things I was called because growing up I've always been bigger. I've been bigger since I've been a big girl since I was like probably like oh 3, 4, whichever. Um and like at first I was like when I was younger I was like a little chubby and then I kept on eating because I like food and here I am now. Big and fluffy, missed it down here and yeah, that's me. And I remember growing up though, kids, you know, kids could be mean. Like it don't really matter the country. Let me be quiet. Some cultures obviously do have a worse for bullying, a worser. They have, yeah. Some countries obviously have a worse bullying situation than others. As we've seen globally, some kids really be going crazy. But for the most part in America, when you're bullied, you're usually just called names. Maybe people put their hands on you, but nothing crazy for real. And yeah, you are called fat, you're called big, you're I mean, and you're it's supposed to be like fat is supposed to be synonymous in this example with ugly. But no one ever really called me ugly, child, because I'm not ugly. I'm just not. I'm sorry. Like, and my biggest thing is I know I'm not ugly because I see my family and no one in my family is ugly and I look like my family member. So I'm like, there's no way I could be ugly. And I look just like them. Because the people in my family are beautiful and they're handsome. So I'm just like, I mean, it just don't make sense. So the most you could really say is I'm fat. Like, and when I was younger, oh, you got acne. Okay, cool. Where's my acne now? Oh, okay. Period. You know what I'm saying? Still big, but couldn't call me ugly. So they called me fat, trying to hurt my feelings. It's fine. It's fine. And growing up, I also have always had a bigger chest. I don't remember ever having a small chest after like third grade. And honestly, it probably was earlier than that. So I've always been seen as an older person. I've always been adultified, even though I feel like my face shows my age and that I'm not no one's mummy. um, but yeah, that's kind of just how it goes. And wanting to do this video, I also thought about a second instance that also happened in in Jamrock, happened on the rock, which is I remember I had gotten my hair. I was getting my hair done, so I was growing out my hair in Jamaica because it didn't seem like like if you're Caribbean, you already know like women of a certain age are probably expected to have certain hairstyles. Like me being a young girl, I couldn't have a buzz cut like how I would rock it in the States. Like in college, I had a buzz cut. Since like junior high school, I've had a buzz cut, and my buzz cuts have always been like blue, purple, like lavender, pink, bright colors. Alternate. I look alternative black, I guess. I don't know. That's what people tell me, because I also have a. I don't have the men, but I have a septum ring, and I have both of my sides of my nose pierced. A lot of earrings in my face, as the West Indians say. So that can look really, for lack of better words, abnormal in Jamaica, depending on the job you're trying to do, depending on the attention you want. Because once again, Jamaican people are not afraid to tell you about yourself, negatively and positively. They're just a very open and honest people, and depending on how depending on how you are set up, either you're fine with it or it might hurt your feelings. It really depends. But they mean well for the most part. And I remember, I remember, I was in I was in Mandeville now, right? I was in Mandeville and I was walking with another coworker, and we were walking to like the market or something. I don't remember. And this old man, I remember his hat said something like "I love Jesus," or just it said the word Jesus. Um, because Jamaica is a very Christian country. Like they say, like what the most churches per capita. There's church everywhere. There's bar everywhere. Church, a lot of Caribbean like that. Church bar, church bar. You can say the same about the Bible Belt in America to a certain extent. Bar, church, church bar. And he saw me and my coworker. My coworker is about trying to remember her age, but I would say she's at least 10 years older than me, right? Um she looks young for her age. She looks very good for her age, I would say. And she is skinnier than me. She's skinny. Yeah, she's skinny. And I had taken my hair out. So I was growing out my hair for my buzz cut because this is Jamaica, and I needed to get my hair braided that day. And we were gonna go off to Kingston. We were gonna go, hop on the what do you call it? We were gonna hop on the van. I can't remember the name now, but we are gonna hop on it and head over to. We gonna head on the yeah. We gonna head on the bus and go to Trinidad. Wait. We were gonna head on the bus and go to Kingston to get my hair done and to visit other coworkers. And I had just taken my hair out, so my hair was like maybe like this long or whatever, so not long enough, like 2 inches maybe, not even blown out yet. I have 4C hair, and um I have 4C hair, and I was just rocking like that. And once again, I have a big chest, big body, everything big about me, my belly big too. And we were walking down the street, and this man was talking about how my friend was dressed. He was talking about like what she was wearing was too revealing. She was just wearing like workout clothes, and men will say anything, and men are the type that they will be attracted to you and still talk negatively about your body. Because why are you looking that hard? Lower your gaze, brother. Avert your eyes. focus on God. And he was talking about the way she was dressed and how she, needs to cover up and everything. But you could tell he was also, it was an older man. So you could tell he was also like attracted to her, but he just had to comment on her body, and he was trying to preach the good word to her and do not throw stones in glass houses. You are clearly sexualizing her and all of that type of stuff that, people do, men do. And he's trying to tell her about herself. And then he sees me. I've been there the whole time, but he sees that me and her are together actually. And he looks at her, he looks at me, and he says, "Are you her mommy? Are you her mommy?" Talking to me. Mind you, she's taller than me too. Most people are taller than me. I'm not that tall. And he's like, "Are you her mommy? Like, she's dressed like this, da da da." And I'm like, "Her mommy? What the hell? What the fuck? What are you talking about? What?" I didn't say all that because he's an old man. And he had a little cane. But I was like, "Her mommy? Are you her mommy?" And I was like, "I'm not her mommy. What the hell?" I was like, "No, I'm not her mommy." And I remember after that, I was like, me and her talked about it for a minute. She's like, "Oh, uh, she had just said some things," and I was like, we were just talking about it. And I was like, that is so weird that he is saying that. And she kind of explained to me, you know, it was probably because I'm big. It was probably because I'm big. Like everything about me was bigger than her, like except for my height. She saw it in me. I had a bigger chest, I had a bigger belly, I had a bigger butt, I had a bigger everything, child. I'm big. And I was like, "Oh, okay, okay, okay." Like, I guess. Because she was like, usually in Jamaica, when a woman gets bigger or a woman is bigger, she has had a baby. You know what I'm saying? She has given birth. She's a mommy, for real. For true, she a mommy. And I was like, "Oh, okay, okay, okay." But I remember it was other instances that happened with her where I could tell it like maybe have went to kind of her head, like it was kind of like a ego boost for her. Like, she's 10 or more years older than me, and the man thought that I was her mommy and everything. But I talked to him about it with my other friend there, and I was like, "What the hell? That was kind of weird." She's like, "Yeah, like you don't look like no one's mommy. Like, I think you're just talking to talk that because, like, yeah, like you're bigger." I'm like, "Yeah, true, true." And it just kind of now made me think of, like, once again, the auntification of big black women and how you were often seen as older than you are, more mature, treated as more maturely than you are, which is definitely for to the detriment, I would say, for many young black girls because you don't get the same type of how do I say this, level of innocence or level of, the word is not grace, but you don't get treated like a child for long is basically what I'm trying to say. You are seen as a mommy role, or you are seen in this seductive um kind of mammified role almost, right, where you look older and you're bigger, so it's almost like you should have this type of experience. In his case, I should have given birth to her, I guess, or I look like I have given birth to her, and he's not even looking at our faces to see that, like, maybe yes she looks young, so maybe we are like the same age, or just you're not looking at my face to know that there's no way I could have given birth to a woman that is 30 years old. There's just no way I could have given birth. I not even that old. How old was I when I gave birth to she two? It don't make no sense. He was just talking to talk. He was an old man, and once again he was just clearly not practicing what he was trying to preach to us. And yeah, it just made me think of, once again, big black women and how we are often put in a maternal role, whether it's sexualized or not, where, oh, you can't be young, wild, and free. You're just not going to be seen that way. And I remember too, like throughout my time in Jamaica as well, I just did not wear certain things. One, because of the job I had, but also because I couldn't wear certain things, right? Like for example, this tube top I'm wearing in America, I would not wear that in Jamaica. Or actually, let me specify. Let me specify because it's not even like a Caribbean thing or to put anything with Jamaica. It's more, or being Caribbean. It's more so I have realized throughout my entire life. that I cannot wear the same things as smaller women. Um, because one, being black, that is always going to be something. Being a black woman versus any other race of woman, you will have a different experience, at least in North America, to how you are viewed. I would say North America and Europe, to how you are viewed. And I would often get, how do I say this? I would get in trouble, or I would be reprimanded for wearing things that smaller girls could wear. So girls with um, A cups or B cups bra size, like they could wear tube tops and they'll be fine. Even if I have on like the correct bra, strapless bra, and it's still fitting, it's like, oh, well, you look too grown. You look too. It's the same Caribbean, like you look too fresh up. You look too fresh up. You look too fast. The American way of saying it, right? And it turned into, okay, I'm 16 years old, I'm 14, 15 years old, and grown men are trying to holler at me, and I'm telling them I'm my age. And one of them, I remember he acted like he wanted to pretend to run me over when I told him I was like, hey, I'm 16, right? Because I was at a college campus studying, doing school there, because I was taking classes in college, right? I'm sorry, I was taking college level classes in high school because I smart. And I remember the man was trying to hit on me, and I told in front of the health clinic, so I don't even know what was going on with him. Yeah, and I was just going to the health clinic to clock in for work, and I remember he trying to hit on me, and I told him I was like, I'm 16. Just like, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm 16, because also as women we're taught to say sorry when we have to tell a man no, so we don't fucking die. And he was still in his car, and I had to walk in front of his car, and I remember he revved his engine, and I hurried my little legs out the street. And like the moment I like got my foot on the curb, he and just like run past me. I'm like, were you trying to intimidate me because you're mad because a 16-year-old who looks 16? I don't give a damn. I know I was just like a child. Um, is telling you no. She can't talk to you because she's 16 years old and you're clearly above the age of 20. Eh? And I just think of how when I was younger, I was always seen as an adult. I was always lusted over by older men, and it was never appropriate, obviously. It was never appropriate. Yeah. A lot to unpack, actually. But it was almost expected of like, well, look at how you're dressed. And I'm looking at all of my peers, mind you, the same girls that are also bullying me because I'm bigger. Because looking back on it, I think that some of the bullying I experienced from the boys and girls um, in my childhood, especially around middle school time, was because I had a bigger chest and they didn't, the girls. And that was seen as a desirable trait for wanting to have a boyfriend, wanting to be seen as attractive to the boys, right? Oh, you have a bigger chest. You're more womanly. Oh, you have a bigger butt. And when I was younger, my midsection, my belly was smaller too, so I had like kind of like a shape. I kind of still have a shape like this, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm definitely just a big body Benz now, right? Everything big on me. And I yeah, that was kind of a thing where I would notice that would be something I was teased a lot about, or a lot of the guys who would interact with me would more so focus on my chest and, oh, your chest is so big, and say, make all these weird jokes about my chest just flat out ask me like, oh, what size is your bra? What the fuck? um how boys are taught to be and how it's seen as okay. And I would tell the teacher like, hey, teacher, I do want a little thing, but it's still gonna continue. And I remember growing up where I was bullied for things that were out of my control, right? Like, even if I was a smaller girl, genetically speaking, my family on both sides, none of us produce women with smaller chests or smaller butts. Like, all of the women in my family are relatively shapely, voluptuous, curvy. Even when they were skinny, they still had big body, they still had big tootsies. And um, yeah, like, just once again being kind of penalized for that, or which is so weird because now it's you're older and it's like them same girls want to have a bigger chest, want to have a bigger body, and I just had that naturally. But hey, it is what it is. And seeing how that affected me, where I want to wear some of the cute things they did, but they didn't make it in my size, or I had to. Also, growing up with a Caribbean mom, I had to wear longer things, um, things that covered more. So, for example, my we all had to wear uniforms in school. I had to wear a my mom had to get a hem too because it was too big for me because it was obviously made for a grown woman and I was like 4'8" or 4'9" at that time. I was so little. And my mom bought me a skirt for uniform and I remember it damn near hit my ankles. Mind you, every other girl has like their skirt like an inch above the knee. I think is how short we could go, like or like to your fingertips, right above the knee. And mine were hitting my fucking ankles. That was ridiculous. Because mind you, we live in the South, so it's hot. You know what I'm saying? And my bati was big. My bati is big. My bamsi is big. So like it would still be like my back, my bati, and then you just see like this, like it wasn't cute. It wasn't girly. It was like matronly. It was like it was like if I had went to like a certain denomination of church, it would make more sense. Like I'm wearing like if I was like going to like a Pentecostal church, that would be understandable why I'm just like this. I'm going to school. I am the only one dressed like this. This is ridiculous. And I say that because people made sure to let me know, Nana, your skirt is so long. What the hell is going on? Right? Why is your skirt so long? That was another thing to get bullied for. Your skirt being long. um, and get picked on. And I remember that. And throughout almost all of high school, because we still have to wear uniforms in high school until we started going to taking college classes, wearing that and I don't have on the right bra. And the only type of bras I really could wear were bras made for older women. We have come a long way. Shout out to Lane Bryant. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. I love a Lane Bryant strapless bra. And their lingerie is cute. So if it makes the girls sit where they need to sit, which makes my body look so much better because it's not like I have like, oh, this big boob and the boob just meshed with the belly. No. You can see the different parts. Like, okay, that's her chest, that's her small, that's her tummy, and then that's her body at the bottom, you know? Um, but before that, I was just having to wear like older women stuff. So like things that like you'll see 20-year-olds wearing, 30-year-olds wearing. Um, on top of my mom being Caribbean, it was very unflattering and did not help my self esteem. Like even the pants I had to wear, um, because my butt was big, the pants my mom would give me would just they would just fall. Like they wouldn't be shapely at all, like how the other girls wore. Like, have you ever been to like a uniform school? You know how like pants can fit someone. My it looked like I was wearing like man pants. Like they were just no type of shape, and I had shape. I've always had shape, but you couldn't tell, girl, because my mama dressed me like I was going to church when I was just going to school. And once again, I was the only person dressed like that. So that that made me stand out. And so I grew up where I'm a young person, and I'm a young person, but I'm dressing like a 40-year-old librarian who's super nice, super bubbly, super friendly, and super sensitive, which is not a good combo because that means I like to talk to a lot of people, but I can't take a lot of the jokes, child. Like I couldn't take everything. And yeah, that definitely impacted me growing up and the way I viewed my body, where it's like, okay, you have to be more covered. And then on top of that, you can probably tell, I'm sure you can, I have stretch marks, right? Like you can see them. Yeah. I have stretch marks all over my shoulders, right? The front and the back. And like a little bit on top of my chest. And I remember I was super insecure about those. And then one day in high school, I stopped giving a fuck. I was like, these literally can I Googled it. They said they can't go away. So they're gonna be with me for the rest of my life. They may fade when I get like 50, but I'm gonna have these stretch marks. So I remember one day I just stopped giving a fuck for real. And at that point we were able to start going to college classes and we could wear normal clothes. We didn't have to wear a uniform anymore because we were going to college, baby girl. Like we was one of the students. And I remember I was able to start experimenting more. So wearing stuff like tube tops, um, shirts that actually fit correctly, you know? And now I was looking cute, and I knew that because the same girls that had been kind of bullies to me were kind of rude to me, like were complimenting my outfits. I finished doing my hair, like I started doing my hair more. I didn't have like cornrows anymore. Um and kind of being seen in a more romantic lens. I was still like shy-ish. I was kind of over it. I was more like, I want to go to college for real, for real. Like I'm tired of being in this town, my hometown. I want to go and see the world. And what I noticed was that when I started being able to wear non-uniform clothes, the men who, let me not call them men, they were boys. The boys started treating me better. How does that shit go? Because now I'm wearing clothes. Now I'm wearing clothes that fucking fit. That show like, yeah, like this is how my body looks, right? And it was crazy because I could tell that some of them were I could tell that some of them were attracted to me, but once again, bigger girl, not gonna really get that type of attention. Um, or it's like more like low key, like secretive type stuff where you just don't address it, but you could tell, or they saying little stuff to you. You understand. um, but yeah, realizing that, oh, okay, now y'all want me. Now y'all want me because I can wear clothes for my age group, child. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's kind of what happened. Like, and I would say, like, I would still notice that every now and then, like, how I was treated because, like, you are treated kind of like by other girls. At least it really depends. I won't even like put it to one community per se, but like you're treated by other girls where it's like, oh, like you're so big and da da da, and like they're trying to kind of bully you for it. But then you look at them either present day or looking in the future, and like, oh, like you were probably just insecure because you weren't shaped the same way I was. So it's like, okay, let me just put you down. You're not gonna say nothing. You're not gonna fight back. You're not gonna throw hands. Because I noticed that the boys are giving you more attention. You know. Mm. It hurt in the moment, but I'm happy I grew from that now to be like, oh, that's probably what it was. Probably was insecurity. Um, I don't know, y'all. I was growing up. I was a very friendly person. I was very bubbly. I still am very bubbly. My friends know me, they know. And I have more confidence now too. And what I realized is that growing up, I was always seen as a more mature person, older person, both once again in a positive kind of way and a negative way, where like people just assumed that I could do certain things because I was smart, because I was articulate, and also because of my body. Whenever I would tell people my age, that didn't go to school with me, they'd be like, "Oh, really?" And they would literally, men and women alike, I would see them as because I literally remember being 16 years old, and this person, this like this employee somewhere, um, I was introduced as my sister's sister, and she was like, "Oh, you're her sister?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "How old are you?" And I was like, "I'm 16." She was like, "Oh, 16? Oh." Yeah, girl, I'm 16 years old. And I promise you, if you see me, my face, I've always looked 16. Like, think I had some like piercings because at that point I was doing my own piercings. But I looked my age in my face, but it was just my boobs and my ill-fitting bra. And kind of always a surprise of people being like, "Oh, like you're only 16?" Um, I'm like, "Yeah, girl. Promise you, I am." What's 16? Like a sophomore or junior in high school? Yeah, I'm 16. Because like I told you, I'm not short either. So all these people looking down at me. And I remember that when I went to college, I went to college on the West Coast. And that was very different for me because I am used to being a black big girl in the South. And that looks very different being in the West Coast, being black, being big. And the intersectionality of being a black woman and being big. And the school I went to was very much live, laugh, love free, like very hippie like. And so I could wear whatever I wanted. And that's when I was really started to experiment with my hairstyles and my clothes. And I was able to have it where I could wear damn near anything I wanted to wear. Whatever the skinny girls were wearing, I was wearing it too. And even through that, I was still being mammified. I found myself in so many situations where people were treating me like I was their mammy, like I was their mommy. People of different races, mind you. And then a few black people too, where it was like, oh Nana this, oh Nana that, oh Nana I have to tell you this, and crying to me, telling me about their problems and their struggles, and me literally giving them, similar to Annie, a big mama hug and letting them lay on my chest and be like, baby, it's gonna be okay. Baby, it's gonna be okay. It's all right. Don't worry yourself about it. And crying with them and becoming their auntie. And then the moment I showed that, black people are not a monolith and I am not an auntie, I am your peer, your age mate, it was all of a sudden it was, oh, you big black bitch. Like not literally, but damn near. I'm sure they got close. That's pretty much what they meant to say, you big black bitch. So if I gotta be a bitch, let me be a big one. Let me be a good one, child. Let me be a bad bitch. Um, but yeah, I remember that. And then I came back home to the South, and tried to wear the same things I wore. First of all, mama wasn't having that. She's still Caribbean. She's older now, but she Caribbean. You know what? I wasn't this. I had to be my big girl age to be wearing this, because she was like, she's like, you wear that at college? I was like, yeah, yeah, I wear that at college. Don't nobody say nothing to me, because they're all white. Them not here. Them not here, and them not want me because I bigger, or they do want me, but it's like in a dominant way because I'm bigger and I'm black, and they assume that all black women are doms. Yeah, child. Going to a liberal arts school will do it to you. But then I come back here. I wear the same things. I get in catcalled in the street. I never before, when I was younger, I will say that I don't know if it's just a positive. I wasn't really catcalled growing up here because my mama did not play that. Whenever I was out, I was with my mama, and I just told you the way my mama used to dress me. So it was giving nunnery. You understand? Like there's nothing. What can you possibly see about me? I am covered. Mind you, it's hot. Mind you, it's 80 degrees. I covered though. I covered, or I'm wearing like some baggy boy basketball shorts. What you on catcall? You can't see nothing, child. I'm wearing a tablecloth. So I tried to wear the same things that I wore in college, outside in public, and oh, the eyes, the attention. And yes, I think it's also because I am pretty. Um, everyone finds everyone attractive. Like there's someone for everyone, right? Um, but also because, oh, once again, I still got the shape to me. I still got the shape, but the attention I received, the attention I received was more um sexual attention than actual genuine romantic interest, you know? And once again, it was a thing of like, oh, well, you pretty, you cool, but it's gonna be, if it's gonna be anything, it's gonna be we on that type of time. Like you could tell these people were not serious, or there was still like that stigma they had or shame of, being attracted to a big, beautiful black woman. You know what I'm saying? A big, beautiful black woman. Um, a fluffy gal, all of them things. And yeah, it just kind of, I don't know, I feel like I see parallels in my life and a lot of other bigger women, specifically, obviously, what this is about, big, big, big black, big, fat, fluffy black women's lives, where kind of like similar to the love scene we saw with Annie and Smoke, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit you from the back, but that's it. Like this is a purely like sexual thing. Um, you can't really have that like, type of love story, spicy and romantic love that we saw portrayed with Mary and Stack. It's gonna be kind of like a secretive thing, a more, or it's gonna be struggle. You gonna have to, you want this love, baby, you gonna have to struggle, because black women struggle regardless. But if you struggle, like for example, even with Preacher Boy, and I think her name was Perlene, you know what I'm saying, and they had that. May she rest in peace, Perlene. But they had that, that little time, and he did what needed to be done. Even that, like her being in a smaller body, she wasn't seen as an auntie, and she actually had a man that was not Preacher Boy. Shit. Sammy wasn't her husband, but he made her sing, child. And once again, we left the cinema with a lot of people's dialogue being Annie. They went together. I thought that was his auntie, child. I thought it was like what Michael B. Jordan said in Black Panther. Hey, auntie, to Angela Bassett's character. I thought it was the same thing. Like I that took me for a spin. Whoa, didn't see that coming, because that is how we have been socialized to see big black women. We've socialized them through the stereotypes of Aunt Jemima, Sarah Bartman. That the bigger and curvy you are, the more mammified you gonna be. Like we saw this in old age cinema, Gone with the Wind. All of the casting opportunities that we saw with big black American women, where they were quite literally playing someone's maid. They were quite literally playing someone's wet nurse, someone's mother figure, someone's maternal figure. Oh, Bessie. Someone that she is just a giver, 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 and you can motherfucking take all you motherfucking want and not have to return a damn thing. I think that it was seen so much in the media we saw growing up, where, it's like, well, if the big, beautiful black woman, hell, I'm never saying beautiful, if the big black woman gonna be with a man and he gonna be fine, she gonna have to be real motherfucking grateful. Like it's gonna have to make sense, because we're not understanding it. So what did Annie do? Annie had to be all these extra things. She had to be. She told the people, she was like, "Hey, that's a haint. Turns out one haint. Them's vampires. This is what we gonna do." Did anyone fucking listen? No. She said stay in. She said stay in the damn juke joint. We gonna be all right. No, no. Someone want to open the door because Bo gonna kill our daughter. Your daughter was already dead. I'm sorry. No, 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 don't listen to Annie. And then at the end, oh, they want to save Miss Annie. They want to save Annie. Talk about, so we could live forever. Selfish. She done told you she don't want to be no daggone vampire. Why you not listen to her? Mary Stack. Talk about, so what if I turn Annie? Cause Stack, that's what I'm saying. Niggas ain't shit, right? Like Stack said, if we turn Annie, Smoke gonna follow, and made Smoke had to kill his woman. Mm, mm, mm. Annie, once again, had to do the thing. She had to do the auntie thing of like, okay, I'm gonna take care of you. I know you need to take care of me in this one moment and kill me so I do not turn into these demons, these vampires, but do this one thing for me. You couldn't stay with me when the baby had passed away. You say my roots not work, yet here you are, still alive, all two eyes, all 10 fingers, 10 toes, brain and your head still work. Got a little PTSD, but it still work for the most part. Do me this one solid. And it took everything in him, but he did her the solid. And that was their love story. He had to kill his wife. I just feel like everything about the movie, it was so good, and it had such deep meanings on so many more levels that I just simply did not cover in this video, because I know this video is already about to be long as hell. So thanks if you watch it all. But I think it says a lot about the love story of Smoke and Annie, how Annie first appeared to us on screen, why so many people thought that was his auntie or his mama or something, right? And it took us knowing that their baby passed away to know that they were together. And then their actual love scene, it was like rough struggle, kind of like, I can't explain it. It was like, it wasn't really seductive in the same way. Like she said, like, your body hasn't forgotten me, your body remembers me, whichever it was. But that was about as sexy as it got. After that, it was kind of just like it sounded alright. It just gave struggle. It gave struggle and it gave pain. And I know that was low key what the story's supposed to be about, but pain and the struggle of being black in America. But I just feel like that being the representation we got, it says two things. It highlights how we, as society as a whole, already place big black women on screen before they even have any lines. We already are assuming that's not his love interest. This is someone else. This is someone maternal to him. And two, the space that they are given, the scene and the lines that are read are still a thing of like, well, this ain't gonna last too long. Y'all are reunited, but this can't last too long. There's gonna be some struggle with this, which obviously goes to black love, but also once again seeing how Annie was portrayed with Smoke, then seeing how Mary and Stack were portrayed, and then even though it was short lived, R.I.P. to my girl Perlene and Sammy were portrayed, where they were able to have this, this sexy, fun love of like, oh, we're together. But Annie and Stacks, I'm sorry, Annie and Smokes was just supposed to be so mature and deep and painful and all of this like ache, which I feel like is a love story for a lot of black women, where it's like, okay, well, girl, you might get you a Michael B. Jordan, but it's gonna be some struggle. You gonna have to work for that. There gonna be some pain attached. You might have to be the one praying in the gap. You know what I'm saying? Putting the roots to protect your man. And even though he might still leave your ass, he may come back like Smoke. He may, but I don't really know. And this was obviously like my first. Look, me trying to show off my earrings, child. This was obviously my first video. So I'm still trying to learn the type of style I want to do, how I want to talk. I want this to be more of a conversational piece, um, more than I would say too analytical, because I just want to like get into the feel of it. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I don't know what I want to talk about next. I really want to talk about Is God Is, but I know I'm gonna have to do a lot of research for that one. But yeah, thank you for watching my first video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe if you want or don't. I think I might just do this for funsies, shits and giggles. Things I care about. Like, I think what I'll be talking about in this challenge is like things I care about. A lot of things that I want to talk about are ideas that I wish I saw the content creators making, but I don't really see it. So I'm like, shit, I guess I gotta be the one to create it. Like, for example, I really have been looking for a good video essay on Is God Is, and I have not seen that. I'm like, what the hell? Like, no one else watched the movie. Like, it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it was wildly original. I ain't never seen nothing like that before in my life. I probably will never see nothing like that again in my life. Because it was just that unique. My name is Nana, and Nana is Mako. I'm Mako. So I gonna talk about things like that. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope all you have a good day. And I'll see you later. Okay, bye.